Good evening or afternoon. It's John Presco coming to you live from Springfield, Oregon. It's June 13th, Sunday. About this camera last week. So, Pentax, Ossia, something like that. So I missed my calling. See, if I had a camera like this when I met Rena, then I'd be famous today. Because I would, I would have taken 1,000 pictures of her. As we were at the ocean, and the redwoods, up in Tamalpais, up in our sacred mountain by Frog Pond, going on a road trip together. Could have recorded it all in here. I could have done paintings from the photographs I took. And then I'd be a famous artist and a famous photographer. Rena Christensen would be a famous muse. Paid $9 for this camera. And it takes film, old-fashioned film. Oh my God. I mean, look how beautiful this camera looks next to this beautiful young woman. And somebody on the campus of University of Nebraska asked her to pose for him. He says, I'm a photography student. You mind if we go out to the woods and I can take pictures of you naked in the woods? She said, sure, let's go. She came out of the tent one evening. It was getting dark, and she wearing a towel. And she takes the towel off and goes into our pond and says, are you coming in? And I was afraid. I mean, I'm laughing, but my God, I couldn't believe what I saw. It's like it was like every man's dream. It was every man's dream to see the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, the most beautiful body. She's 5'11", coming out of this tent, and the sun is just like this marmalade. The stars coming out, and she drops the towel, the white towel. She's standing there naked next to this beautiful pond of water. And she walks into the water, and she saw you coming in. I mean, you don't understand. I'm an artist, poet, lady, and want to be a photographer. I mean, she had carnal intentions, believe me, carnal intentions. That beautiful young woman had carnal intentions towards me, and I chickened out. The truth's out, huh? I said, no, that's forbidden to go in that water. Didn't you read the sign, young woman? No swimming in this pond. There was a sign there. And she got pissed. Oh yeah, there is $9.99 right there. She got angry. So the next time we went to Monterey Beach, she takes off her halter top and wriggles out of her cut-up blue jeans, and she's in the most beautiful bikini you ever saw, the most beautiful body you ever seen. golden tan. Now we've been camping out a couple of weeks. And she turns and walks into the water. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm leaving out the. She says to me, I don't want you in the water with me. She turns, walks into the water, and it was like, 30 yards in the water. There I am looking the most, the California redwoods, Gurneyville. This is what you're never going to get next to in the water. You're being punished. So, I'm just sitting there. God, she's not dumb. I mean, this is a bright person. She knows that this is the art muse game of Western civilization. You've got the monk, the pictures of the monk refusing the naked woman, and Mary Magdalene and Jesus, and you've got this whole interplay with this. And she's, here we go. This is it. You asked for it. You should have, been a regular kind of Nebraska kind of man with a big boner, got in the water and screwed the hell out of her. Like animals. You could have bred. Could have had children right now. No, I'm not that kind of man. I'm an artist, poet, writer. I'm not, one of them filthy beast cowboy types that you fornicate with back there in the flatlands. I got it. You're not coming in the water with me. And she turns around. God. And like I've examined, I said, do you really love Rena, or is it just because she's the most beautiful woman that's ever going to come into your life, ever, or anybody's life, ever? You lucked out, buddy. She came into your life, Too bad you didn't have your camera with you. Your sister's, she's a painting of her, and she takes up art and becomes a multi-millionairess. Because she knew what was going on. She's no dummy. She's, the fates, see, the muse had me by the short hairs, see. It wasn't love, it wasn't lust, it was muse shit. This was high muse shit. Still is, it's not going to end. See, it'll go on after. This is one of the eternal, see, when you hook up with the muse in real, face-to-face, fleshy form, see, then, this could go on for 1,000 years, see, produced, 10, 15 famous artists. See, this isn't over. Now we're going to take over the whole Bond book shit. The story of Kathleen Ann Easton, my God. Hooking up with John Holmes John, who's related to Augustus John, the artist, related to Ian Fleming. Do I got this sudsed or what? So she comes to the edge walks into the water, and it's just Venus and house shells, high art. And I see these young men, I guess they're about 30, on their towel. Some of them have got women. One guy was single, I saw him take off his Rolex watch, and he was ready. Because she dove in. She went, arched her back, and whoosh, went into the water. Oh, my God. The guy's office towel, I'm coming, honey. And he dives in, Oh, shit. I go, look at this action, Mr. Millionaire guy. See, we didn't know it was the Bohemian Club gatherings. See, so the wealthiest people in the world were all around right there. Some of them are on that beach, you know. There it is, the California goddess, and they don't even know that she's not from Nebraska. They don't give a shit. She's in California. She's the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. She's in a bikini now. She's in the water. You know? So he dives in. He plans a trajectory, you know, so that when she surfaces, you know, he'll be right there. Hi, honey. You know, this tan, you know, little nipples, you know. And I'm sitting there, okay, this is what you get, you know. You know, the Muse show, you know. So she comes up and, you know, and she sees him surfacing, and all of a sudden she's down, you know. Man, it was a beautiful move, beautiful. And she's, you know, the water's murky, and he's like, where the hell did she go? The apparition, the woman, she was right here, and then she surfaces over there. And when she surfaced, it was like that mermaid, you know, that guards the harbor of Sweden or something, you know, Copenhagen, yeah. And you could just see the gold arm. She had the most beautiful upper arm, this wide shoulders, and she just broke, and the hair was back long. I mean, you know, when I saw the movie 10, nothing. I said, that woman did have nothing on Rena. I mean, when she surfaced in that river, it was like everybody was like rendered impotent. It was like I can't keep up with her. I can't have her. I'm worthless. My penis is shrunken and shriveled up. I don't know what to do now. I'll never be a man again. So, you know, I know how you feel. He gazed on her. Medusa. You know, I mean, it was like this. That's how beautiful she was. And we come off our mountain to go in my 50 Dodge to go shopping, come into town. See, I didn't know how much of a recluse she was. She was like total recluse. I mean, we spent 50 days mostly alone, and she was happy. You know, you take any American woman, 2 days in a tent, and she wants to go home. She's not only bored, she doesn't know who she is anymore, without her friends, and talking about her hairdo and shit. You know, they want to get home, get back to their whatever, you know, their friends and their calls and all that. She doesn't have any of that shit. She don't want it. Total recluse. And she loved that I could spend a lot of time alone. I wasn't interested in having a big gang of people. We had to get out of Oakland because all my friends started coming around just to see her. I kid you not. You know, hi, Greg. You know, you go right past me. Hi, Greg. I hear you got a beautiful girl back here. Oh yeah, go take a look. You know, put money in the fishbowl. Oh shit. I don't know if this is even important anymore. I'll read it. Maybe. Yeah, let me read it. How much time have I used here? Okay. So, okay. I wrote this in 1997. April 23rd, 1997. To President Bill Clinton from John Gregory Presco regarding Clinton and Clifford coat of arms. Dear President, while doing research for my theological novel of the Nazarite priesthood that admitted men and women as equals. John the Baptist was a Nazarite. And when I began to research my family background after the death of my beloved sister, the world-famous artist Rosamond, I came upon the legend of Fair Rosamond, mistress of King Henry II. Jean, or John Rosamond Clifford, was at the crux of the Crusades. The Royal Rosamond Clifford, the role she played in world and religious history is yet to be understood. I discovered evidence that her story was the rallying banner for the Reformation. The Presbyterian Church and everything this country was founded on the cornerstone of her tragedy. The War of the Roses was waged around her, and the Knights of Chivalry came into being due to the important role she and her family played in the Crusades, she giving validity to the kings of Jerusalem. Now, the Game of Thrones comes from the War of the Roses. So this is an archetypal letter, which pretty much establishes the Rosamond artistic literary legacy in a congressional record. I sent it to the president. It's in a congressional letter, just like Shawn Michaels' Miles letter. So this is okay. So anything that Robert Buck's law firm sold to anybody else is negated with this, and I shall continue because I am going to see an attorney. In the library at the University of Oregon, I came upon the Clinton family coat of arms next to the Cliffords. I am researching the connection. I suspect the Clintons are cousins. The name DeWitt is key. This family also bearing a coat of arms. Wycliffe's work is comparable to Jefferson's in regards to the religious freedoms of the common man and woman. Enclosed is a letter this common man wrote to the judge who oversaw my sister's probate. Inexplicably, his manhandling of this complex legacy has recreated the nuances found in Fair Rosamond's legend. My mother's father, Roy Rosamond, was a writer that was promoted as the new Mark Twain, who is also related to these crusade families. I am overwhelmed in so many ways. What my 7-year biblical study has uncovered is astounding. 6 years ago, I sent a dozen letters to my liberal and radical friends warning them that the Christian right would soon make a move to take over our government. They thought I had become a Bible thumper. To my dismay, when they did take over, the first thing they did was call for the artists degenerates and take their funding away. I've worked with art groups in Boston, Oakland, and most frequently North Sacramento. My mother, who passed away in January, managed the Valley Youth Symphony Orchestra and worked with the National Endowment of the Arts. I am from the San Francisco area, and in the 60s found myself at the core of the so-called hippie movement. In 1968, I dropped out of that experience and began to speak out against the use of drugs. That message was received by my friends. My friend Bruce Perlin, who took it into the Oakland school system and was covered worldwide. I've been watchful of the cults that have sprung up in this country as they are the enemy of individual liberties, as they destroy the idea of personal spiritual responsibility, thus putting personal freedoms in jeopardy. To my horror, since my sister's death and due to the ongoing nightmare in her probate, I have concluded a cult has taken over my family legacy. I beseech your help. I am outraged to think my 12-year-old niece has read what I found on the internet 10 days ago, where it is said her mother was a sure bet to suicide. This latest attack upon the Rose, the romance of the Rose, leads directly to the J. Paul Getty family, whereas my sister and ex-husband were good friends of this family, whose foundation is very supportive of the arts. But due to the improprieties of their right-hand man in their business pursuits, Larry Chasen, who was once Rosamond's partner in her Carmel gallery, I have come to suspect he is at the core of a cover-up as to protect him, whereas I was not informed of my father's death in 1994 and that my mother was in a hospital dying of cancer. She died the following day I knew about my father. My mother's name is Rosemary. I am struggling with the bitterness. However, in my program of recovery, there is an allowance for forgiveness and a place for many miracles to take root. I am seeking mediation from a power greater than everyone involved. I'm currently doing volunteer work for the Maud Kearns Center that is performing miracles in the place that was traditionally set aside for them, so as to own the faith and the courage to make them possible. They could use a word from you. I am working on my own proposal to create a program that would make available art supplies for children in homeless shelters. They are in need of being esteemed. Perhaps an art show of their creations could tour this country, if not world, thus letting them know there is indeed a great, big, wide, wonderful world out there. Rosamond means Rose of the World. In closing, I do know the careful path you are walking. I applaud your spiritual courage. God be with you, and don't forget to behold the roses along the way. Fair Rosamond has left us so many enchanted clues. In your case, the Clintonia, a cousin of the Plantagenet. Your fellow citizen, John Gregory Pressfield. Okay, and like I say, I started to do a realist portrait. I wanted to do a painting of Fair Rosamond because I don't really like the ones that the Paratholites have done and other people, and that's still going to happen. This one, I might start another one. I don't want to Laura Rosemont. Okay, first part we show you. Take care.